qualifiers. And down at the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak, we have our blue Terran player from Quantic Gaming. It is Illusion. And his opponent here in the upper right-hand corner from the team Evil Geniuses, the one and only red Zerg player, Suppy.
All right, so Suppy winning the first game with really just a bunch of Lings and a handful of Infestors and Banelings. That combination worked out really great for him, you know, fungling those big batches of Marines and just having the Banelings roll their way in for the explosions. Everything worked out as planned for him. He actually took a really, really long time to actually start to build any of those units. He was up on 3 bases before he even built a Baneling nest or got Zergling speed. So we'll see on Daybreak if he's going to continue that trend as Vibe did on Daybreak and just take 2 bases really, really quickly, 2 extra bases, putting him up to 3. So that is a common Zerg build here on Daybreak to get those 3 bases around the 5 or even 6 minute mark at the latest. But pretty much all of them do it because it is pretty quick to, you know, spread creep between the bases, be able to defend them. And yeah, we'll see if Suppy's got the same sort of hive mind as the other Zerg players.
I see what you did there. You know, anyway, we said we were going to give it a shout out, and we didn't actually, because we've been posting the video and everything like that. And Diggity, a guy who actually I followed when I was first getting into StarCraft, said, you know, in reference to our promo video where we highlighted all the interesting casters, he's like, why are all those characters based on me? Sad face. So. Diggity.
That's funny. I didn't know Diggity watched our cast. That's actually cool.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he was, if you guys don't know, he was with SC2GG, which is like just really old Brood War casting.
I casted for him, man. I casted their tournaments for. No, I casted the SC2GG when they did StarCraft 2 tournaments for like 3 months. I was the caster for that. So.
Oh, okay.
Random, yeah.
I didn't know that. Do you remember Rise? Did you ever? Like RISE, Rise?
Yes.
Okay. He was
That's who I worked with. So.
He was the first caster that ever, because I didn't have my own good enough internet to stream, even though I had like a really boss computer and hardware and stuff. I just did not have the right internet connection in suburban South Carolina. So Rise was the first person to let me just get on a Skype call with him and cast some games that were going on live. I just hopped in and spectated and casted. So big thanks to Rise. Actually, that was my very first live cast. My second live cast was actually casting with Gunrun, Huck, and Tyler. We were casting Stars Wars China, where Tasteless, Artosis, and Idra are representing America. And Tasteless was the only one to win against a Chinese player. China actually won the whole thing because it was in China, and they did not have booths, they did not have headsets, they just had announcers saying everything that's happening in the game in Chinese. A little bit suspicious.
I remember that.
A little bit suspicious, but that was the second thing I ever cast because Gunrun had it. He had the stream up and was just restreaming and was like, all right, who wants to cast? It was a lot of fun, though.
All right. Well, interesting build for Illusion. I'll talk about. I have some interesting stories too. I remember going to a little land in the St. Louis area at a mall, and I was just like coming over to Zerg players. And I was like, "Quick, what do Zerg players do in ZVZ?" And they're like, "Do this." I was like, "Okay, I'll talk about that." Anyway, so let's see here. Illusion decided to go for a command center first. Then he actually went for a refinery before barracks so he could put up this factory as quick as was humanly possible after that initial expansion. So, Suppy, on the other hand, still just powering ahead with what we're used to from him. He's got a 4-queen build. He decided to go up to a total of 6 queens and 3 bases a bit ago, bypassing roaches and going right for the Baneling and double evolution chamber build. So we'll see if he does something similar here. Obviously, he has to react to a little more conventional Banshee first build from Illusion, it looks like.
Everything worked out fine for him the first time. Don't see why he should need to change, really, but Illusion is, of course, going to want to change. We've got factory units already coming out for him as opposed to that quick +1 and combat shield build. So if he adds on this Tech Lab and doesn't actually just swap the starport immediately, Blue Flame might be a nice option for him, but Banshees are just going to be far more likely, as that's what's in favor at the moment. We've got you know, the second base, actually he has not transferred any SCVs over yet. He's just got one popping out at a time here. Probably should transfer a few, but either way, first 2 Hellions will be arriving at Suppy's neck of the woods soon. I don't know, does he have a Spine Crawler up at his natural at all, or any defense? No, I don't even see a queen yet. Okay.
Nope.
But the Hellions stopped. They're not going immediately. They actually had a small window there to get some real damage in.
Suppy went down to the 3rd base because he thought that's where the Hellions were going to be coming in at, but obviously that's not the case. Cloak and Banshees being produced now, but already double evolution chambers are established for Suppy, and he's got a perfect wall here over at his natural. Not anymore, of course, just to spite me.
That narrow window would have been awesome for him before those queens got up there, before the Evo chambers were ready to go. Now he's just going to shoot idly at these at this third hatchery that's really got no protection, and you know Suppy can just cancel it whenever. So I mean, they're not going to get near the same damage that they could potentially have gotten if he had just kept rolling there. But Queen's actually coming down now. None of them have enough energy for transfusion, so if Illusion does micro well enough, he may be able to pick off one of them, but would probably end up costing him a Hellion or two. The hatchery comes up without any problems, and Suppy is just going to continue to drone up. He's only got 10 lings on the map, not a whole lot else. The first Banshee will be arriving here from Illusion soon. I think it did fly past that Overlord, though, so we'll see if Suppy's got enough to be able to counteract that.
Okay, well, with, let's see here. Are those the first two Spore Crawlers popping up? Looks like they are. There's a Spine Crawler over at the natural, but that's about all. And this Hellion Banshee attack can be quite powerful. These Queens have done a nice job at defending themselves, though. Two of them got very low, and just a couple of hits would actually take them out.
Yeah, if the Queens actually get focused down, one more rocket would do it. No, okay, I was going to say he turned away, but he killed the other Queen that also only had one hit left. Hellion's coming back in. Oh, nearly finishing off that Queen. I can't believe he lived. So he's just, you know, missing these kills by just fractions of health there. You know, killing a lot of lings and drones in the process as well, though. Taking out all those Queens, finally you can see the huge charred corpse. That'd actually be pretty scary if you're driving a Hellion and a big flaming Queen just like fell on top of you. That'd be scary.
God.
Yeah, he'd probably get trapped under that, but they do disintegrate fairly quickly after that, so he'd be free to move around once again.
Well, clearly, yes,
yeah,
obviously. All right, well, a second Banshee swinging its way in, not shooting so much. Neither are the Hellions. They're all actually very, very low. How many workers have actually fallen? Just three workers, but of course he killed 4 Queens, and he killed a lot of lings as well.
Yeah, let's check out resources lost, as we tend to do. Looks like 1,556 lost for Suppy, and about 900 there for Illusion. So not the worst trade in the world, actually, staying ahead of his opponent. Illusion getting a better start this time than he did in the previous game. He's going to have to repair up there and get his third command center build inside of his main right now. Banshee's still on the prowl here, looking for some, you know, open sweet spots away from those Spore Crawlers and Queens. Might be able to snag a drone or two. There we go, actually. If he gets too close, he is actually still visible, but he can't chase down that Queen. He's going to stick to these drones instead.
All right, well, the drone's finally backing out of there, but of course that's just going to move Illusion to the other side of the minerals. Still potential for him to fall, though, as that Banshee is down to just 20 hit points.
Yeah, he's got 3 kills to his name, though, so doubled that worker kill count for the game. Yep, 3 to 6 there. And is this another Banshee hanging out at the top of the map, still just waiting around? No kills to his name, but as long as Illusion doesn't forget about it, there he goes. Yeah, soon. That was really soon. As he cloaks up and heads back into the main, we'll see if he's got enough open area to be able to do some work here.
Yeah, well, he's going to pick off a couple of drones at the very least, and has done some economic damage. This Queen won't be in too much danger here because the Banshee was already low enough that it has to back away. It didn't have the amount of damage required to be able to take on that Queen one-on-one. Nice job, though. I mean, just pooping down creep. That's another 20 or 30 seconds that a command center can't actually sit there. Looks like the third command center wasn't anywhere close, though. Illusion was just being proactive and making sure that he took that out.
Yep, might as well. Make sure your landing zone is clear for your next orbital command. We've got a bunch of Marines and tanks again in production for Illusion, so he is going to fall back into that build that he tried out in the first place, but Baneling speed is on the way. We got 15 Banelings, 18 Banelings in production for Suppy, and they are all going to be back at home between his natural and third base, so he is expecting this attack from Illusion. I'm not sure what Overlord spotted it or what, but he was getting prepared pretty quickly. Illusion with a big supply lead, 36 supply lead over a Zerg player is nothing to shake a sneeze at.
No.
And he is killing a lot of creep tumors here, receding Suppy back into his base. All the Banelings crashing into all those Hellions. He needed those Hellions too. Oh my goodness, that was harsh.
That's about as good as it got. That was a beautiful engagement from Suppy, and he absolutely demolishes that force.
Did I say 36 supply lead? Because now it's 18. A couple of Banelings just equalized that a lot. Oh my goodness, that was hard to watch, man. That's all those Hellions going down at once, and all those Marines just exploding in unison. We've got a Spire coming up now for Suppy as a transition after Infestors are ready.
And that wasn't much of a, I mean, Illusion, that wasn't much of a bad play on his part. He had his units in position. That was just a great flank from Suppy. I mean, Illusion did have his units a little bit too clumped up, yes, I'll admit, but Suppy just set up for the absolute best possible flank and took advantage of it fully. So, well done on his part. Now, of course, establishing that 4th base and rocketing up to Tier 3 tech as Hive Tech and that Spire are on the way.
Man, these 4th base battles always tend to make the game kind of drag on. We'll see if Illusion does get that 4th base up, but usually if you're bouncing into a planetary over and over, it tends to extend the life of the game. So we'll see if Illusion is actually going to establish a 4th or if he's just going to siege up, try and get some damage done the old-fashioned way with these siege tanks and Marines. We've got several Infestors with pathogen glands already finished, so they'll be popping out and fungling as soon as they are able. 48 lings in production for Suppy to try and stop this new force of Illusion.
Okay, so, bye-bye Queen, and this hatchery is actually in a little bit of danger. Suppy needs to get some units in position stat. He's got another 48 lings. He's got the Infestors popping up. They all finish at the same time. This hatchery was not being focused down, though.
He was expecting Banelings I think he was expecting Banelings, so he split them up kind of preemptively, but Suppy just decided he didn't have the force necessary at the moment to be able to defend that. He's building 6 Banelings now. Are those the ones up there? Yeah, he's building them all offensively near the 3rd base of Illusion. And a bunch of Marines are here. These Banelings could actually catch them all. Oh my goodness, Illusion does get them running just in time. Kills 4, 5, 6 Marines there in total, but Suppy did not really get as much damage as he could have there to the economy of Illusion. Illusion with some good foresight, actually protecting his 3rd just in time against that. Greater Spire actually already being produced for Suppy, and he's got Overlord Ventral Sack's already done. Curious to see if he's going to get any use out of that. Look at this one Infestor. We've seen some great plays with things like this before, where you just drop infested Terrans all over the place, or you can just tail those tanks and stay with the army of your opponent for a long time.
All right, well, that Spore Crawler is a goner. Bye-bye. Marine is actually... He's going to get that kill, but moves a few Marines off to the side here. And Illusion voluntarily splitting up his force a bit. Of course, he wants to try and do some sort of a multi-pronged attack, but it didn't work out too well at that moment, as mostly he just got everything killed. Yeah,
the Marine's actually still standing in Suppy's Marine. It's kind of funny, but big fungals going down from that Infestor that we saw earlier, actually just burrowing immediately, and now even more fungals going down. So Suppy has more energy available, and look at this Illusion getting entirely cleared out from Suppy's side of the map. Suddenly, looking at the supply, Suppy is in a much better position than he was just a few minutes ago, and making 5 Corruptors now. The Greater Spire is done. He can flip those over to Broodlords pretty quickly.
Okay, well, once the Broodlords hits, we'll see here if there's enough.
The Marine finally got taken out by the Queen, yeah.
All right. Oh, it did 100 points of damage to the Greater Spire. Okay, so that's... Didn't see any sort of a blue dot up there, but let's see here. Suppy going up to his 5th base. We have a likely planetary fortress. Yep, coming in for Illusion. I don't think he has any backup orbital commands, though. You see a lot of Terran players at this point trying to drop those down, but Illusion is using all of his available resources to make sure he gets Thors out on the map. And he starts to pair with anti-air, but surprising, still no Vikings quite yet.
Yep, normally when you expect that Broodlord transition, you just start making some Vikings like crazy. That it's actually something MVP kind of was a little too stubborn to do against life, was, just make a bunch of Vikings. He actually did lose a couple of games to Broodlord, so we'll see Suppy versus Illusion if the same sort of thing will happen. If he doesn't build any Vikings, if he continues just rolling out 1 or 2 Thors at a time. When did that? Oh, the Ventral Sacks. Wow, that one Overlord full of Lings.
Just one Overlord.
Did a ton of damage.
All right, I think it just forced the SCVs away. Yeah, Suppy hasn't killed too many workers yet, but, he's got to start doing some damage too, because he was split up quite a bit.
Big fungal again, allowing the Lings to clear that up and save the hatchery. There are some blue dots here at the 4th base. Not sure what was going on. It looks like that did get cleaned up as well.
Oh, yeah, that was just the drop I was looking at,
and we've got a huge contingent of Lings and Banelings rolling into this 3rd base. If the Banelings can actually get up there and explode all those SCVs, and it looks like they might get a whole bunch if he just hits them. There they go.
Not again.
2 more. Banelings would kill all of those SCVs if the Ling would just get out of the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Man, those Banelings have to be upset now, because they had such opportunity, such promise. But that Zergling just wanted to keep clawing away and wouldn't let them into their target. Lots of Thors are on the field now, but Broodlords are beginning to come in for Suppy. We got 2 Thors. I thought I saw a 3rd and a 4th in production.
Yeah,
maybe he canceled.
Yeah, I don't know. So, well, just the 2 up, but he is starting to finally supplement his force with Vikings, but he's maxed after this. Those are the only 2 Vikings he's going to make. So Suppy will certainly have an opportunity, but, you know, he has a lot better economy than his opponent, but he hasn't been able to bank resources yet because he's been continually defending harassment and attacks, and he needs to make sure that he engages this really favorably, because if he loses economy here, Illusion's going to be in such a good spot.
Yeah, well, 7 Broodlords have been finished. They're somewhere. Here they are, actually. No, that's just an Overseer. I just saw Shadow. Broodlords? Nope, Corruptors. All right, so Illusion still has quite a lot of time here to attack into the 4th. There are those Broodlords we've been looking for. Fungal does stall out Illusion a little bit, but he did kill that hatchery. He's going to immediately start building another hatchery right in the face of Illusion. Illusion does not want to fight against that Zerg Air Force, so he's actually going to back home, build 13 more Marines at a time and 2 more Thors at a time. But right now, I don't think there's enough anti-air to be able to deal with these Broodlords, so we'll see if Suppy is going to make the decision to run in toward the main very quickly, or if he's going to assault, you know, one at a time, starting with that planetary, which Illusion has set up at his 4th.
I mean, yes, there are 72 Marines, 81 are going to be 92 here in a second. That's a lot. And they do shoot into the air, but they have to be able to get close to the Broodlords first
and Fungal
to be able to do their damage. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just a little bit worried that Illusion isn't going to have the anti-air necessary to deal with all these Broodlords.
Okay, 2 Vikings at a time. It looks like Illusion is gearing up to attack back in with another big drop of Marines and Marauders, so should be able to take out that hatch once again. He does successfully, but now the Broodlords are in position. Corruptors, looks like they have taken out the Viking threat there. Now Thors are going to be the only anti-air to be able to deal with this, and only a couple of Thors are even standing. This is still kind of a rough position for Illusion. That planetary fortress is a big help. Ooh, attacking back in to that other 4th base that he's taken out a couple of times. The workers killed for Illusion just keep going up. Units killed keep going up, but he's actually just going to pack up, head into the main. He might want to find that Greater Spire in that infestation pit and just try to gun it down. Resources lost very, very close still across a 23-minute game.
Exceptionally close for this stage in the game, and we'll see here what Illusion can do. I mean, he's trying to drop in 2 more places at once again, and he has been able to successfully pull at least a little bit of the forces apart for Suppy, but now Suppy is close to remaxed. Even though losing those 46 workers, he still has 54 on the map, so army sizes are pretty close to each other. Obviously, Suppy, though, sporting those very powerful Broodlords. He'll start moving in now. The anti-air is just staging up for Illusion. Does he want to move forward and try and take this on? The Corruptors actually dishing out a lot of damage to the Vikings, and there are only 2 more Vikings left on the entire map, and they're already fungled up and dying.
Yeah, I just don't think this composition is going to be able to work out for Illusion, as the Marines don't have the accessibility to get into those Broodlords with all those infestors on the ground. There's 12 Broodlords they have to deal with, so they have to stim and get under them, but Fungals are going to prevent that from happening. As you see here, the Marines do have a great concave, but they cannot get at those very high DPS Broodlords, the targets they need to get to. Even Queens transfusing Broodlords that the Marines do happen to get to, and just not enough Thors. I think Vikings at maybe 1 or 2 more starports, just cranking them out would have been a safer choice, and now Illusion appears to be paying for it. Suppy has taken a massive supply advantage, and you know, Illusion just does not have a whole lot left on the field, and soon his production is going to be camped, and he says Grataz. And Suppy is the 2nd Evil Geniuses player to advance into the round of 8.
Yeah, man, congratulations to him. That's quite the achievement there. So he does a very good job of that. We know Huck and both Huck and Suppy are actually making it through. Unfortunately, that is actually our last game of the night. It was a pretty quick night. Our big announcements, though, of course, today, guys, 2 things. 1, we launched a brand new YouTube channel, youtube.com/IPL Esports. Please do head there and subscribe right now. I want you to do it. Look at that. We said it again. We got 20 more subscribers. Wow. So, yeah, we're doing this. Subscribe again, though, youtube.com/IPL Esports. It has kind of the cool pre-produced content across all of our games all in one place. So everything from League of Legends, StarCraft 2, and Shoot Mania, all our top 5s, our interviews, stuff like that, all accessible on that page. So please do check that out whenever you can. And we also, of course, announced a contest, and the video for that is on that channel that I said before, youtube.com/IPL Esports, to find our next full-time StarCraft 2 broadcaster. You have to be at least 18 years of age or older and a legal resident of the United States. But if you meet those requirements, we encourage you to apply. Get your applications in by October 3rd. 31st, because we're actually going to hold a little bit of a contest to see who will be our final 4 contestants flown out to Vegas to cast on stage at IPL 5, and then who ultimately will be our winner that will cast a semifinal at IPL 5 and then get themselves a full-time job at the IGN Pro League.
That's right. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed the GSL World Championship qualifiers so far, let us know on IGN Pro League or at Ask Joshi or at Kevin Naki. These tournaments are a little bit of a change of pace from the IPTL, and you know, we haven't really broadcast a whole lot other than team leagues in the last few months.
No.
So it's actually kind of a neat change of pace to have this individual competition, being able to bring it to you. And I hope that, you know, you guys are really paying attention to this, because whoever wins this qualifier is going to be representing, you know, a large majority of the world's landmass at IPL
right.
5 against the best players in South Korea. So there is a stake here for you as someone who doesn't live in South Korea, as GSL World All-Star team is going to be taking them on at IPL 5 at the end of November. And yeah, definitely, you know, let people know that these are going on. If they have a favorite player in North America or even in Europe, which will be starting tomorrow, let them know that they're going to be participating, and this is a chance for players to actually, you know, get some spotlight as individuals rather than just the teams, which we've been focused on for